A fierce battle raged on in the depths of the forest, as two mighty warriors faced off. The mage began to chant, calling forth the elements. Fire, water, earth, wind. Symbols appeared in front of him as he gestured with his hands. I summon the power within. He brought his hands together, and a powerful blast of white light erupted from them. Elemental cannon, he shouts, unleashing a beam of intense energy that streaks towards his opponent. But the young warrior, with shaggy brown hair and piercing blue eyes, barely flinches. Is that all you've got? He scoffs, as he unsheathes his trusty sword and charges towards the mage. With swift and graceful movements, he slices into the mage's energy beam, deflecting it with ease. The mage looks on in disbelief as the warrior draws nearer, his blade gleaming in the sunlight. But the mage is not one to be easily defeated. He summons all of his magical prowess, conjuring up a shield of impenetrable energy that surrounds him. As the warrior strikes the magical shield, both the mage and warrior use all their might. One fights to protect himself, while the other tries to break the shield. The battle is intense, with neither side giving up. The fate of the world seems to hang in the balance, but as the camera pans out, we see that it's just Alan and Eric lost in their imaginary world of magic and adventure. Enough! Eric exclaimed playfully, moving his hands to the side after blocking Alan's stick. What is this power? Alan pretended to be pushed back. Wait. I'm trying to think of another attack. Eric scratched his head. Why don't you create a sword? I want to sword fight, Alan suggested with a laugh. Eric crossed his arms as he thought out loud. I'm not sure if my character would know how to sword fight. Who cares? Swords are just cool. Alan, you can't expect a powerful mage who spends their entire life learning magic to just create a sword and be capable of taking on a swordsman, who spends their life learning how to fight with a sword. It just doesn't make any sense, Eric explained. Well, what if the swordsman didn't know how to use a sword? Alan wondered. Eric looked at Alan for a moment before bursting out laughing at the ridiculous idea of a powerful mage struggling against a swordsman who had no idea how to use a sword. I like you, Alan. I hope you stick around, Eric said, still chuckling. What do you mean? Alan asked, puzzled. Well, whenever someone with blue eyes like us shows up, they usually disappear, Eric replied, with a hint of sadness in his voice. Alan's face showed concern. What do you mean by disappeared? What happened to them? I'm not sure. I just remembered my dad mentioning something about a blue flame, whatever that is, Eric replied. As the two boys continued to play, CJ approached a clearing where he could see two figures practicing their magic.